that.
Okay, it is 7 o'clock. Let's call the June 4th regular meeting of the Zoning Commission to order,
Well,
please.
Mike is starting the recorder, just so you know.
We're ready?
Yep.
Should we start over again?
You can start over.
Okay, it's 7:01. I'll call the June 4th Zoning Commission regular meeting to order. First order of business is to see if we need any alternates, and I do not believe we do. We are fully attending here. The minutes of the May 21st meeting, any comments or corrections to those?
Yeah, I have a couple.
Okay,
First of all, alternate Joe Campolita wasn't there. Okay, and I think my title would be acting chair. We don't have a vice chair in our bylaws.
your secretary.
I'm secretary, but I'd be acting chair in that situation.
Right.
Okay, and then I doubt you appointed the next says Chairman Ryan appointed
No.
Gavin, so I don't think you did that.
No. Acting chair.
And then you can call it, at that point, you can call it chair, but whatever. That's all I had.
Good catch. You know,
You didn't
I
catch that?
just watched right over those,
Yeah,
didn't
so did Mike.
I did,
Okay.
No,
embarrassingly. No, I did too.
Any others?
How much did you?
A motion to approve the minutes as amended,
So moved. So moved.
moved by Donna, seconded by Kevin. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Minutes are adopted as amended. Okay, we have 3 public hearings tonight. So, Mr. Secretary, can you read the call
No.
of application 1823?
Okay, application 1823 of Marshall Epstein and Rosedale Farms, owner for a special exception pursuant to Article 10, Section H of the Town of Simsbury zoning regulations for a temporary liquor permit for a series of one-day events at the property located at 25 East Weetog Street. Assessors map H14, Block 108, Lot 03, Zone R40.
Thank you. Does the applicant have anything to say?
Oh, this is I think our 10th year. The weather will be good this summer. Went off to a rocky start. You can see April, nothing grew. May was pretty good. Fortunately, today it rained. Back to, I think, March. But yeah, we have the same we're not doing much anything differently than we have the last 9-10 years, a combination of festivals in the afternoon and dinners that usually conclude by 9:30, 10 at the latest. So it's pretty much the same agenda that we've had over the past few years.
Do you have public
Exact same
gathering
amount.
permits for those?
Pardon?
Do you have public gathering permits for those dates?
Mr. Chairman, the public gathering permit is not required because it's on private property.
Oh, okay.
So it'd just be a simple permit with louding, which.
Scared him, huh?
Yeah, you got me nervous there. Another hoop to go through? I'm going to join the circus, I think, pretty soon. I don't know if I have a tent already.
Okay. All right, any comments by the commissioners, questions?
I just have one question. I've forgotten, are some of these charity fundraisers, or is that not the intent?
We had one that we didn't know about until late in the season. That's that we recall, I think 2 or 3 years ago, we had a buy for kids that wasn't on the list. We don't have any this year now. We did a warrior race, which that had no alcohol and obviously those things. So, no, there's none this year.
Okay.
Sometimes we have 2, sometimes we have none. They like to rotate what they do. They had last year in the society room. It's kind of cool downtown.
Thank you.
Other comments, Jackie?
Like he said,
Mike?
this is what he's done. This is pretty consistent. I don't think there's any real questions.
Feels very familiar.
I think
Is that
I
a
looked
flyer?
back in 2014, and I think we've had the same amount of events, almost 1 or 2 varying each year.
How many events are there?
16.
15 or 16.
Yep. Well, it says the approval is for 16 temporary events.
Okay. Is there anybody in the audience who would, in the public, who would like to speak to this application? Hearing none.
I move that we close the public hearing for application 1823.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that application is closed. Hearing is closed. Could you read the call for application 18?
Okay, application 1824, Ferg Jansen, agent, Town of Simsbury, owner for a special exception pursuant to Article 10, Section H of the Town of Simsbury zoning regulations for a temporary liquor permit for a one-day event at the old Drake Hill Flower Bridge on the property located at 1 Old Bridge Road, Assessors Map H11, Block 144, Lot 007, Zone R15.
Good evening. This is probably the fourth or fifth year in a row we've done this.
Would you state your name and
Ferg
address for the
Jansen,
record,
3
even though
Foxton
I know where you
Road,
live?
West Simsbury, 06092.
Thank you.
The Bridge of Flowers, this is our annual fundraiser. It's our rain date, or the event is the 13th, next Wednesday. Our rain date the next day goes from 4:30 to 7:30. And we ask permission, as we've done before, to serve beer and wine. We have tips-trained people serving the alcoholic beverages. It's really over before dark. We think our new bridge lights will be here installed by then, but we won't need them. But we're excited about that. But it's it's just a great event. Brian Defoe runs the food from Fitzgerald's, and it's just a good time. We get people from a foot high to people even older than I am. So anyway, we ask your permission to do this.
You have a
Any
statue this
question?
year.
I'm sorry?
You have a statue this year.
We have a sculpture. We can't, you
Sculpture.
can't call them statues, although we all slip up, but they are, yeah, he hasn't caught anything yet, but he's trying. Yeah, he's standing there, so, yeah. It's fun.
Ferg, could you just remind us, is there a contractor that does the alcohol part of this, or do you do that yourself?
I do it on the permittee, and I get, actually, the beer is donated. I get, the city's team has nicely donated it as a charitable thing, so.
Great.
Any other comments or questions by commissioners?
This one also feels very familiar.
Yes.
Yes. This
Very
is how many years? How many,
4 or 5.
I didn't hear what you said.
how many years has this
This is the
event?
fourth or fifth year we've done this, yeah. We just pray for sunshine and warm weather. Not today, not like today.
Good. Does anyone in the public care to speak to this application? Hearing
Mr.
none?
Chairman, I move that we close the public hearing for application 1824.
Thank you.
Okay.
A second?
Second by Donna? All in favor?
Just one
Aye.
more.
Aye.
Opposed? The application is closed. Public hearing is closed on that application. Okay, can you read the call of
Yes,
application?
application
One question
Time out.
before you start. I'm on the board of Gifts of Love. Do I need to recuse myself now or when we?
I thought it was just when we make the decision.
I would
Probably
Yes.
just easier if I remove myself,
Now.
right?
recuse
Yeah,
yourself.
because you
now.
could influence us.
Oh. See you later.
Wait till he's out of hearing range.
You wouldn't want to hear this.
Okay,
All right, application 1826 of Joanne Perry, Gifts of Love, Inc., agent, Town of Simsbury owner for a special exception pursuant to Article 10, Section H of the Town of Simsbury zoning regulations for a temporary liquor permit for a series of one-day events at the property located at 73 Wolcott Road, Assessors Map I-02, Block 439, Lot 002, Zone I-1.
thank you. Yes,
Hi, Joanne Perry from Simsbury, Money Sunk Drive. Representing Gifts of Love as the operational director. We are looking to do 3 farm-to-table dinners this summer. We are excited. Gifts of Love, this is the community farm of Simsbury. We changed the name just in this past year, and we're still in that transition period of people recognizing that Gifts of Love is utilizing what was the community farm of Simsbury. So we're excited. These are charity fundraisers for our organization that last year served over 20,000 individuals in the greater Hartford and Farmington Valley area, as well as the farm directly supports Simsbury Social Services in the growing season that is just about to burst. So we're excited about this. We've done farm-to-table dinners in the past, and we've had caterers with the licenses. We don't this year, so we're looking for those, the license.
Okay. Questions from the commission? Bruce?
I think I'm familiar enough with this. I don't have any questions for you, Joanne,
Thanks.
but I do wish you well.
Thank you.
Okay.
Donna?
No, I'm good.
Kevin?
So who will be doing your liquor then?
We're going to have, the restaurants that are working with us we have to get the permits because they don't have the liquor license to
Yeah,
take it
off-site.
off-site. Correct.
You're going to get a temporary one-day.
We have public gathering permits, and it's the temporary one day for that, so we do have to get the public gathering ones, which are in the process now. I've gone through the selectmen, contingent on a couple of
At
things.
the state permit,
State permit for the license,
for the liquor license.
So that would be after tonight's meeting, the zoning officer is authorized to sign, should the commission act favorably on it. So then they would have to secure those permits.
But you're going to get 3 permits
correct, for the
Right.
various dates.
for the
correct.
3 dates. Do you have rain dates?
We do not. We have a pavilion, so unless it's really miserable, we can put everyone under it. If the rain's coming this way, we'll be in trouble, but we don't anticipate that at this point.
Okay. Jackie?
Again, familiar with this as the community farm.
Yes. Anyone in the audience, the public, want to speak to this application? Hearing none.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we close the public hearing for application 1826.
Second?
Second by Donna. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries 6-0. Okay. Can we have a motion to move item D, applications 1826, consideration to the
Oh.
top?
Send Mike back out again.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mike.
I'll make that motion.
All right, I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so we'll take up 1826, so Mike doesn't have to go in and out twice. Okay, any questions or hear a motion from someone?
All right, Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve application 1826 of Joanne Perry, Gifts of Love, Inc., agent, Town of Simsbury owner, for a special exception with the following conditions. The approval is for 3 events for the 2018 season at the Barn and Table 570, July 12th, Cure Restaurant, August 1st, and Garlic and Oliver with Farmers Kitchen Bakery and Cafe on August 22nd. 2, any change to the event dates require coordination and approval by town staff. And 3, additional events will require approval from the zoning commission.
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carry 6-0. Approved. Now Mike can come back. 5-0. It was approved, I'm sorry.
That's okay, go ahead. I don't want to influence anybody.
Okay, the next application is 1823 of Marshall Epstein, Rosedale Farms. Do I hear a motion on that?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve application 1823 of Marshall Epstein for a special exception pursuant to Article 10, Section H of the Simsbury zoning regulation for a temporary liquor license as a license or a series of one-day events on the property located at 25 East Weetog Street. The special exception is subject to the following conditions. 1, the approval is for 16 temporary events for the 2018 season as follows. A, the chef to farm dinners on July 13th, 15th, 27th, and 28th, and August 9th, 16th, 24th, 25th, and 30th. The Farm Festival Series on June 17th, 17th, August 5th, 12th, and 26th, September 16th and 23rd, and October 7th. 2, the changes to the events dates need to be coordinated with town staff. And 3, additional events that require temporary liquor license will require separate approval by the zoning commission.
Second.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carry, 6-0. Okay. Next is application 1824 of Ferg Jansen, agent, town of Simsbury, owner for special exception for the Bridge of Flowers. Questions or comments or a motion?
Dave, I'll move that.
Okay,
Ready? I make a motion to approve application 1824, the application of Ferg Jansen for special exception pursuant to Article 10, Section H of the Simsbury zoning regulations for a temporary liquor license for a one-day event at Old Drake Hill Flower Bridge on the property located at 1 Old Bridge Road. The special exception is subject to the following conditions. 1, the approval is for a one-day temporary liquor license for Wednesday, June 13th, 2018, with a rain date of Thursday, June 14th, 2018. End of motion.
Second.
second by Kevin. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 6-0. Thank you, Ferg.
Thank you very much.
Okay, application 1825 of Selectran LLC owner for a site plan amendment for change of use in the property at 690 Hot Meadow Street.
Evening, my name is Mark Scully, Notch Road, West Simsbury. We were here 2 weeks ago with our plans for the Ensign House, 690 Hot Meadow, and primarily because of the late arrival of our plans, the planning department office staff recommended that we table that motion until we had a chance to review some details, and the town engineer has since had a chance to review. We've also had a chance to have a meeting with the State Historic Preservation Office, so I can report back on these discussions. The plans that you have have minimal changes to what we presented 2 weeks ago. We did remedy the mistake on our part that showed a parking space that just edged forward of the preservation easement, so we've taken that back. There was, if you were here, you may recall, significant discussion about the gazebo, as there was at the design review as well. There was a topic of discussion for the State Historic Preservation Office, so we're trying to present a design that we think will also be acceptable to the to State Historic Preservation Office, to SHPO. So you'll see it is a slightly simpler design. It doesn't have the flared roof. It's slightly reduced in size. The other changes are really details and primarily in response to questions from staff that we provide further detail. We came 2 weeks ago, the enclosure for the residential dumpster had wood on 3 sides and a chain link on the front. That's now wood all around. There are a lot more details provided that were really at the request of staff. Other than that, these are the same plans that we presented. Really, the discussions that we've had with the engineer and with the planning staff have been extremely helpful to us, because there have been a lot of things that, we didn't see 2 weeks ago that are now built into these plans. So I believe staff has a recommendation.
There's a staff report from me dated June 4th, 2018. The applicant has demonstrated compliance to the Simsbury Center Code. Went over the parking requirements for the code and what's provided on site, along with, he also has a email approval from the fire marshal, obviously pending, building plans, building officials, same thing. Water Pollution Control Authority has reviewed the conversion. They have no comments at this time. They made a recommendation, though, that the existing 8-inch sanitary sewer connection line be replaced with a 10-inch one. There's a 10-inch pipe out in the road. However, in talking to Tony Piazza today, he did not feel it was a is a issue that needed to be conditioned. It's something he's recommending to the applicant that they can investigate. And then the kitchen layout will be coordinated and approved with Farmington Valley Health District during the building permit process. However, there was no glaring public health code violations or issues which would prevent approval tonight. On the attached to my staff report, I have a draft motion for approval with some language for discussion. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 9 items for that the final plans need to incorporate for issuance of a zoning permit. I can go through them if the commission wants. One is that the plans are signed by the applicable design professionals. 2, the sidewalk improvements depicted in the state right-of-way be removed. This way, the applicant is not bound to the mercy of the state DOT for what measures as, let's say, between 5 and 10 feet worth of sidewalk that's shown connecting into the existing sidewalk, because they're time sensitive for this. They will have to get a permit from District 4 DOT, but it would, normally a connection like that would not come to the commission, so they'll remove that from the plans. 2 is that more spot grades are provided in the area of the ADA compliant parking locations and the associated travel paths in order to demonstrate ADA compliance on sheet LL1. This was something also, if you recall, we dealt with a similar sort of details with Bank of America when they did their improvements. And same thing, that they demonstrated compliance post-approval for issuance of a zoning permit. It shouldn't be an issue here. It doesn't appear to be a grade break or anything that would prevent compliance with this. It should be minimum changes. Next is the detail for the cable railing on the proposed deck that's on the western elevation of the building on sheet A21, just so that we know the material that's being used. It's cited as a cable railing, so that there's no confusions. Next is written approval from the town engineer for issuance of a zoning permit, just because the town engineer has reviewed this. However, he just wanted a little more assurance. He did not, in discussions with Jeff this afternoon, he did not see any glaring issues which prevent his written approval. He just wanted a little bit of time. Next is the grading details for the proposed patio fountain feature in the northern end of the lawn, added to sheet LG1. The concern there is, although the area is flat, we just want to make sure that we're not raising this thing or creating an issue. We have an adverse problem to that lawn area that's in front of the building. The last 2 items are just general housekeeping, where complete paper sets filed with the planning department and Mylars provided for only sheets LL1 and LLG1. And those go to the engineering department, just our record keeping. A pre-construction meeting on site, just reaffirming that this approval is only for work within the site. Any work in the state right-of-way requires permits from District 4. And the last 2 items, one is for minor changes to be made in writing to staff for grading or landscaping, similar conditions that you've seen in the past. Last is that it's just for the change of use. There'll be separate permits coming to this commission for signage package and liquor licenses down the road. So you will see this project again, but this gets them in the building and starting construction.
Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, Mike, could you repeat what you just said? We're going to see this again?
You will, because if they're going to have a liquor license there, it requires a special exception, and also for signage. This has no signage for the tenant. There's actually 2 freestanding signs for the site. One is on the corner of Drake Hill and Hot Meadow Street. It was a blade sign. I think it's still up, that one, correct?
Just the
Just the
post.
post.
Just the
there.
post.
Yeah, right.
So, but we have documentation what the size of sign that was there previously. So you will see that as a sign permit down the road.
Okay, but did I understand, Mark, that the drawings that we have today that were given to us have exactly the same unchanged gazebo as 2 weeks ago? There's
No,
drawings
no,
submitted.
no, it's a little different.
It is different.
It's a little different.
Could you tell us what's different?
It's smaller diameter, it's 20 feet diameter. And if I'm not mistaken, the one you had 2 weeks ago had a flared roof where there were two different pitches. There's a steeper peak, and then we were really trying to pick up on that detail of the house, of the mansion itself. Shippo didn't like that. And it's also, what we showed 2 weeks ago, the intent was a timber frame design. They didn't like that, so this is more of a boxed column. Other than that, and it's a little lower as well. It's a smaller diameter and a little lower. They were concerned of the massing. I'm not sure the gazebo is going to make it. You'll note it is cited as optional. I'd love to build it. I think it'd be a wonderful dining experience, but Shippo seems to have some concerns.
Well, it's good to try to get the approval up beforehand if you
Right.
can.
Right.
I have a question too. On two of the site layouts, we have the southern sidewalk to the Hot Meadow is potential, I guess it says. And then LV1 has it solid, so are you planning on doing it or you're not planning on doing it?
That's interesting, yeah. It's optional at this point.
All right, so we're approving it as though you can build it.
As optional,
Yeah,
right,
okay.
yeah.
All right. And then, thanks for moving the parking spot.
Yep.
And then in your draft memo here, you're talking about the fountain patio within the northern end of the lawn.
Yes, sure. That's, oh, sorry, it's the southern.
Southern, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right, I just thought you were doing it.
Kevin wasn't gonna let that fly.
No, it wasn't tonight.
Not today.
Sorry.
Just checking your mic. I thought there was another feature.
Mark was hoping.
But this is
I
the
didn't
set
know-
of drawings that we're working with.
Yes.
Although I didn't know there was a fountain. You're
Fountain,
talking
yeah,
about
I
as a
didn't know
fountain?
about a
There
fountain.
is not a fountain planned, no.
Right, should
May-
we add up?
Discussions, sorry. I think I fixated on some discussion we've had a while ago. We've been
Right.
discussed this now for what, the past
Yeah,
a while?
it was in one of the earlier designs, yeah.
So we should delete fountain from the.
Yeah, I
discussion.
apologize for that.
There was an earlier set of drawings online in which it seems that northern and southern elevations got mixed up in the labels. But these are the drawings that we're talking about.
Yes.
Further questions, Kevin?
No, I'm good.
Donna?
I'm good.
Mike?
I'm good.
Jackie?
It's a nice plan.
He's an alternate, he can't speak.
Ken, you can't vote.
Okay.
Ready for a
Your
motion?
motion, yes.
All right, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve application 1825 of Selectran LLC for a site plan amendment for a change of use on the property located at 690 Hot Meadow Street. The approval for the site plan amendment is subject to the following conditions. 1, an administrative zoning permit is required for the change in use. 2, for issuance for an administrative zoning permit, the final plan shall incorporate the following changes. A, plans are to be signed and sealed by all applicable professionals. B, sidewalk improvements depicted in the state right-of-way are to be removed from the plans. C, spot grades are to be provided in area of ADA compliant parking locations and associated travel paths in order to demonstrate ADA compliance on sheet LL1. Details for the cable railing for the proposed deck to be added to sheet A-2.1. E, written approval from town engineer. F, grading details for proposed feature of the patio within the southern end of the lawn to be added to sheet LG1. G, provided 2 complete paper sets of final plans to the planning department. And H, Mylars of sheets LL1 and LLG1 to be provided to the planning department. Condition 3, a pre-construction meeting is required with the zoning enforcement officer and applicable town staff prior to start of site work. 4, approval is for work within site. Any work within the state right-of-way requires approval from Connecticut DOT District 4. Said approvals are to be secured before work commences in the right-of-way. 5, the zoning commission authorizes staff on behalf of them to approve minor modifications to the approved plans, such as changes to grading and/or landscaping. Said requests for changes are to be made in writing and approved by the planning department staff prior to implementation in the field. And 6, approval is for the changes in use only. Separate approvals are required for signage and liquor licenses.
Second?
Second by Jackie. Other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries 6-0. Thank you. Okay, application 1826, we did that. Application 1827 of Sign Techniques agent.
John Lemansky, Shed Hill Road, Stoddard, New Hampshire. This is an application to revise the existing sign at Valley Liquors, eliminating the bright red background, the white letters, change the lower font on Super Liquors to something with a serif. Try to bring it in compliance with the rest of the plaza, so it all kind of matches.
Okay. Staff have any?
This application was reviewed by the Design Review Board 2 weeks ago. We received a favorable recommendation with the one condition that the lighting, right now, there's uplighting of the board, that it be changed so it conforms and it's downlit. Other than that, the sign meets your regulations as for size for a wall-mounted sign, and it conformed to the size shown on the unified sign plan for the plaza.
So is there lighting in the diagram that we have on?
No, I didn't include the lighting because that's not something we handle. The lighting was there with the old sign. So, that would have to be a job for a licensed electrician. So I imagine that's something you'll contact the owner of the liquor store for.
That's correct.
So outside of my scope of work.
But the lighting that is there is non-compliant with our current regulation. Does the owner know that?
Yes. This, just to clarify the record, so this sign went up without any permits, et cetera, what's up there right now, kind of just appeared over the weekend. So there was no review for compliance for what's there right now. So this is after working with the owner, and their agent, they've been very cooperative with the town on developing a sign that, one, conformed to the design review guideline, but two, also conformed to the unified sign plan for the site. So the lighting came up at the design review board conversation, which has been relayed. So they will, during the permitting process for building and zoning, they will have to modify that lighting, should the commission condition this too.
It doesn't have to be a part of our approval?
It doesn't have to, because
I
I
don't know
mean,
if
it's
that's what Bruce
required
is
in your
asking.
regs.
Okay.
You can, to assist the zoning officer, condition it that the lighting be changed so it's conforms to the zoning regulations, and just leave it at that, and it would assist her in her review, but it's not required of you this evening.
Okay.
Because this actually says refurbish existing non-illuminated wall sign.
That's
It's
just the sign.
It's a light bar that's attached to
Yeah, I
this.
know,
Yeah.
I see it, but, so is it illuminated or not illuminated?
That one is not illuminated, what they're proposing.
Okay,
in the
because
one.
this is the application, says refurbish existing non-illuminated wall sign.
Yeah, we disagree with that based on the lighting that's there and the design that's there, so. But the new one will not be internally lit, and obviously, the lighting will have to be changed to conform to the code, which the applicant is aware of.
Any other comments? Jackie? Do we have a draft motion here?
Should have it in your packet.
No, I don't see one. Kevin?
Anything special we need to include conditions?
I would just say lighting be changed to conform to the zoning
All right,
regs.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion regarding to approve application 1827 of Sign Techniques, Inc., agent, 22 GC 2012 LLC, owner for a site plan amendment for a sign permit for Valley Super Liquors on the property located at 828 Hot Meadow Street, Assessors Map H09, Block 227, Lot 001A to 1B, Zone SC1, with the condition that the lighting be changed from uplit to downlit to conform with the Town of Simsbury zoning regulations.
Second.
Second by Jackie. Jackie got it. Kevin's motion, Jackie seconded. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries 6-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, application 1829 of Gary McCoy, Point Signs, I'm sorry. Is he here?
Mr. Chairman, the applicant failed to put up their notice sign, so they've asked this to be tabled to the meeting at June 18th, 2018.
Looking at the documentation, it looks like it's just a change of the logo, adding a heart. Is that correct?
There's an additional sign on the back of the rear of the building that they're adding.
Added sign, okay. Okay, can I have a motion to table this application?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we table application 1828 until our June 18th meeting.
1829.
29?
Application 1829.
1829.
Application 29.
Oh, application, 1829, what did I say?
I don't know.
Application 1829, until our June 18th meeting.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Mike, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Application gets tabled. Okay, we have new application 1831 of Allen and Jolene Kramer for a special exception for an accessory dwelling apartment. And you are?
We are there.
Okay. This, we're going to set a public hearing, and at that time, you should be prepared to present what you want to do. Can I have a motion to?
Mr.
Yeah.
Chairman, just recommend, staff recommend sending a public hearing for this one for your July 16th meeting. So we missed the deadline for the Hartford Courant on this one to advertise for the next meeting,
Okay,
So 16th is the one we want to go with.
July 16th,
July 16th.
for this one.
We have a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that...
I have one other sort of observation. I don't see in the material that was online, and it's printed here, there's no diagram of the actual space. The ADU isn't
Yeah,
down here.
they can provide that at the public hearing. I think it would be appropriate conversation at the public hearing.
Well, it's part of the application, so I would view this as an incomplete application. If they want to submit it like this, I guess we can entertain it, but absent the diagram,
No, it was submitted with that application. I have a copy of it right here.
great. Okay, well, maybe the staff can share it with us. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Chairman, I move that we set a public hearing on, what is the date? July 16th for application 1831 of Alan and Jolene Kramer, owners for a special exception pursuant to Article 7, Section C9 of the Town of Simsbury zoning regulations for an accessory dwelling unit on the property located at 345 West Mountain Road.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mike. Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is set, 6-0. Application 1832 of Curaleaf LLC for a special exception pursuant to Article 7, Section J2 of Town of Simsbury Regulations. This is for a public hearing, and town staff is recommending that we do that June 18th.
This one, we were able to get into the Hartford Courant. There was a little mix-up when Carrie sent her notice in. So this one has been advertised, so we can meet the advertisement requirements for June 18th. And this is for a relocation of the existing facility on Grist Mill. This is not an additional facility. They were potentially leaving town, and they chose to relocate to 34 Hot Meadow Street
Is that the CLMP?
within the existing CLMP building. They're taking the whole building for this facility.
So they're getting bigger.
They will be expanding.
That's why they're
And
moving.
the potential for this site affords them to expand. Should they expand beyond the walls of the facility, they will come in for further approvals, but this is just for an interior fit-out of the existing CLMP building. And it's allowed in the underlying zoning district for the site.
Business is good.
Right. The material that was sent to us, is there more detailed
There-
information?
there will
This
be-
was very hard to.
There will be more coming from the applicant. They needed to submit in order to make the timetables work, so they are aware that this is incomplete, but there are more information coming at the public hearing, such as floor plan, statement of use, et cetera.
And the whole security? Yeah,
They will
okay.
provide details.
Okay, you have a motion. Go ahead.
Jackie.
Want me to make a
Jackie,
motion, Kevin?
yeah, Jackie.
Quiet, unusually
I'd like
quiet.
to make a motion to set the hearing for application 18-32 of Curaleaf LLC, agent Infinity, for a special exception. And did I say we're scheduling the public hearing for June 18th?
That's correct.
You have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mike. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That carries 6-0. We're scheduled a public hearing for June 18th on application 1832. Okay. General Commission business.
I have no correspondence for you.
Zoning regs amendments. How are we doing on the
That's the amendment.
subcommittee?
Well,
Donna?
at the last meeting, let me just jump in here, because Jamie was intending to draft something for consideration by our smaller group relative to one of the areas that you raised. And then I was doing some research on some others and intended to submit that to the group so we could have something all done at once. I don't know where Jamie stands, but in the last 2 weeks, Dave, I was sort of consumed with the Memorial Day events, and
Yep.
I don't
I
think we
didn't
got
have time
anything
to do
from
it, but-
Jamie, did
I know.
He didn't
He
send
said that he was
anything,
gonna
yeah.
wait until he got mine and then put them
Oh, because
together.
I didn't get anything.
As one thing
so-
that we might eventually look at together, but first we want to see them as a small group.
Okay, so you guys need to have another meeting.
Yes,
One more
we do.
meeting, yeah.
Right,
Okay.
but there is progress,
Okay.
slower than we would
Is
like,
there,
but
have you set a meeting? You're the chair.
No, we haven't set a meeting because I was expecting
Okay.
stuff from Jamie the last time we talked to him. He was going to send some things out, so I don't know whether he can
I-
initiate that or, 'cause-
He's out of town this week, right?
That's correct.
He'll be back.
He's back tomorrow. I could tell him tomorrow that you're looking to
we need to set,
reconnect with him on scheduling a meeting
Yeah.
ASAP.
right.
Okay,
Right. The package you gave us is just updated with floodplain
Yeah,
changes?
that's just current floodplain and a few other changes, just to make sure that everyone has a current set of regulations, that's all. Those regulations are available off the town website, but we wanted to make sure that the members of the zoning commission at least had a physical copy, so that you can bring them to the meetings if you need to, or...
so I'm carrying around February 18th now. The changes were significant between, okay,
Yeah.
got it,
Throw out your February 18th.
okay.
okay.
I move we adjourn.
I'll second it.
Second by Mike. All in favor?
Right.
Aye.
Opposed? 6-0. We're adjourned. Thank you, everyone.